find your offer price in under 60 seconds. What is up guys, Zach Ginn here, and in today's video, what I'm gonna do is show you how to calculate your offer price in under a minute, quick, easy, and in a snap. We're gonna go over exactly how to find ARV, how to calculate repairs, and how to use these two things to find your offer price right now, quick and easy. This is because in my 8 years of wholesaling real estate and doing over 2,500 wholesaling deals, I have to know when somebody sends me a deal, or if I get a deal under contract, or heck, I have a lead, I need to know what a buyer's willing to buy it for so I can give them an offer to the seller lower than that. If a cash buyer wants to buy my deal for 200 grand, I know when I'm talking to the seller, I need to get it for 150, 160. I'll be honest with you, this is one of the biggest hacks in wholesaling real estate. So you have a seller, they want to sell for 150, you can come back, do some calculations, figure out it's worth 180, you know you can make at least 30 grand profit. Hey, maybe offer them 10 grand less than what they want. Boom, you know you're instantly gonna make $40,000. And again, you don't need to have any money, you don't need any software for this, nothing crazy, nothing fancy, so you can start getting wholesaling real estate deals. Now, wholesaling real estate is broken down to, in the offer price, calculating this, especially for 2025, basically down to ARV, after repair value, repair costs, and offer price. ARV, first and foremost, stands for after repair value, or what the property is worth in its best condition. Now, number one, what I've personally found here is the best way to find ARV is doing something called, I'm gonna call it, quote, comps. And that is the first thing we have to calculate. Comps are short for comparables, and that's basically the first thing we have to do. And comparables is exactly what it sounds like. You want to find properties that are similar to your property. So for example here, let's say we have 123 Apple Street in Macon, Georgia, right? And I don't think this is a real property, but 11331, right? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a website and find other similar properties like this. Now, going to Zillow or Redfin.com, which are free websites, by the way, I figured out this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house that is 1,200 square feet. Now, what do we know about this information? Now, this is pretty simple, right? The house has 3 bedrooms, there's 2 bathrooms in the property, and it's 1,200 square feet. Now, what I'm gonna do is just go to a website like Zillow.com, or heck, I also like Redfin.com. These are free websites, by the way. And what you're gonna do is just go to those websites, go by the sold category or similar properties that's sold in the area, and just look for other type of properties in the zip code. Now, we get technical and subdivisions, and guys, we're doing this really quick and really simple, guys. We only have 60 seconds. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go in Zillow and we're gonna look at other similar 3-bedroom, 2-bath properties that basically look the same. Guys, you're not dumb. You could tell if something's a really nice brick house and one looks like someone's grandmother's shed. And just look for other similar looking 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom houses with similar square feet. Now, not every similar house that's sold within the past 3, 6, or 12 months is going to be 1,200 square foot on the dot. Some are going to be 1,000 square feet, some are going to be 1,500 square feet. How do we know which one is considered a good comparable, or what we call in the real estate space, a good comp? I'm color coordinating this so it's a little easier for you, but I like to be between 300 square feet plus or minus. And what this basically means is if something's 900 square feet, I consider it a comp. If something is at least 1,500 square feet. So anything, for this example, anything between 900 to 1,500 square feet, I'm gonna consider it a comp. And what I wanna do is stay in the same zip. Now, if we're a little more advanced and you actually know your stuff, maybe you're a former realtor, former real estate appraiser, right? I would tell you to stay in the same subdivision or the same school district roughly, because that does have a big effect. But if you're just brand new, just stay with the same zip. You should get a general feel, right? We gotta get some knowledge on this. And what you're gonna do is focus all of your attention here on getting what we call price per square foot. Now, this is what our goal here for ARV is. What is the price selling per square foot in this area? So this basically means, let's kind of do some calculations. If we have property A, B, and C, right? We're gonna use these for examples. And property A was 1,100 square feet. It was a 3.2, and it sold for $220,000. Property B was 1,400 square feet, and it sold for $260,000. And property 3 was 1,000 square feet, and it was $200,000. What we're gonna do is find the price per square foot on each property. Now, if I can pop up my handy dandy calculator, we can roughly figure out that property A, $220,000 divided by 1,100 square feet is gonna be $200 a square foot. We're gonna write that down. Property A was $200 a square foot. Property B, divide $260,000 by 1,400 is $185 a square foot. And then property C was, I can divide this, it's about 200 square foot also. Now, what we're gonna do is, I know I'm glossing over a lot of things because, again, we need to get an offer quick. I'm not here for a 15-hour tutorial on comps and how they all work, but we're just gonna take the average of this. So we're gonna add 200 plus 200 plus 185, and we're gonna divide by that 3, and we get 195 a square foot. So that is basically what we got here, 195 a square foot. That is what we got. So 195 a square foot. Now, what we're gonna do is just multiply the average of our comparables by our said property. So we are gonna multiply that by 1,200, and we're roughly gonna get here $234,000. That is the ARV. So this means on the property's best day, if it looks nice, like these nice houses, it should sell for $234,000 on the market. Beautiful HGTV, nice flooring, nice roof, AC, all these beautiful things, right? This is basically what ARV is. Now, if you go into Zillow, Redfin, you can do it like really quick. Okay, boop, 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 boop. Like, don't overcomplicate this. Don't make this too crazy. Now, repairs. Guys, people really overestimate repairs. People are like, wow, the flooring and the AC, and what's the ductwork gonna be, and how much is it gonna cost us to get the piping and the finishing on the fridge? Okay, like, guys, I'm a wholesaler. I just give offers and I sell to a buyer. I make my money in between. I'm not a professional contractor. If I want to be broke, I want to make 60 grand the rest of my life, sure, I'd get in the construction, the repair estimator. A lot of you guys pretend like you're general contractors. You are not. What we're gonna do is actually just make this stupid simple. Like absolute brain dead easy way to do this. This is my handy dandy repair cost calculation sheet. Screenshot this, do whatever you want, but this is basically how you find repairs. So let's go over this, right? If the property is less than 1,500 square feet, if the property, in your opinion, needs light work, repairs are probably $15,000 on the property. If the property is less than 1,500 square feet and it has a medium amount of work, 27 to 30 grand. And if it's heavy, $60,000. Now, I'm doing this for every market, every country in the United States of America. So of course, it's gonna be slightly different. This is gonna be probably a lot cheaper in Macon, Georgia than it is going to be in Seattle, Washington. Just keep that in mind. It should roughly be what repairs are. If the average property, so I would say the average property, 1,500 square feet to 3,000, right? Our repair costs are probably gonna be between 15,000 and 20,000 for light. Hey, flooring, maybe the AC is not blowing as cold, but no crazy structural issues. We're gonna talk about medium. Medium's like, okay, we need to redo the bathrooms, redo the kitchen, make it look nice and sexy. Everything's outdated. You're probably looking 30 to 38,000. Now, heavy is like there's structural damage. This is a hoarder's house. This thing needs a lot of work. We're roughly going to be between $60,000 to $70,000 in repairs here. Now, if it's a larger home, just because it's bigger, there's going to be more things needed. $25,000 is probably going to be a light repair on this. Median's $45,000 and $75,000 for heavy repair costs. Now, your cash buyer is probably going to have slightly different numbers, and that's okay. Because they're the ones spending the money. They're the ones who have their own crew. They're the ones that actually do this more for a living, the flipping part, not us. We're wholesaling, we're actually making more. This is roughly what repairs should be. So if we're looking at our 1,200 square foot said property, I gotta see, does it need a complete change? Do I need to change all the flooring, all the kitchens, all the bathrooms? Or it just needs new flooring, it needs a touch up, actually not too bad. Let's call it $15,000 in repairs here. Flip this over and we could tell with Zach's handy dandy calculator, $15,000 is their repairs. Maybe it's $30,000 if it needs a medium, right? But $15,000, that's the repair cost. Pretty dang simple. So we got ARV, we got repairs, and now we can do our offer price. Can you notice that it should take us about 40 seconds to do this, 10 seconds to do this, and another 10 seconds for this? I am not clickbaiting you here. In under a minute, you can do all this pretty simple. I'm not a wholesaling guru, so I'm not here to make you do calculations and things like this, right? So the way that I do my offers is based off of a percentage. And this is going to be slightly on the higher side and not on the lower side, and there's a reason why. But let me explain this to you. This is roughly what a really, really good buyer will buy it for. So I'm trying to be optimistic for you here. We want to be way below the offer price because if the offer price for a buyer is 200 grand, we want to be at like 100, 120, 130. I'm here for you to make 70 grand on a wholesaling deal. I'm not here for you to make pennies on a deal. But roughly here, if we have these both things, how offer price is pretty much done is it is ARV minus repairs is basically the present value of the home. Now you might gasp at me and be like, what do you mean? No, I said it. This basically means this property, if we take 234, what it's worth right now on its best day, we turn it into what it should be on its best day. The present value of this property, which would be 234 minus 15,000 is equal to 219,000. This is the present value, what this thing would probably be worth if I threw it on the market. All my haters, trolls, whatever, you can argue till the cows come coming home, but if you put this on the market, that's most likely what it would sell for. Now you might be like, well, is that my offer price? No. Because how real estate investors work, if I'm going to buy a house which I know is worth for $219, I have closing costs. I have to buy the house, I have to close on it, I have to pay doc stamps, I have to go and get a crew and spend time, and there's holding costs of the money, even if I own it for cash, right? There's other uses for it. There is a cost of me putting the 15 grand in the next 2 or 3 months of renovations for it to even sell for break even. And I'm not here just to break even. This is a business, right? I do not buy a golden ring for $1,000 and look to sell it for $1,000 if I'm a pawn shop. I want to buy it for $500, then sell it for $1,000 and make a profit for the time it's in the shop. And so what the average investor is going to want is directly a range of a discount based on them owning the property. And these discounts vary from roughly 70%, 80%, 83%, or sometimes all the way up to 85% if the market gets a little crazy and hot. We kind of are not at this point now. We are seeing interest rates drop a little bit, so maybe we're getting closer if things get a little nuttier. But if there is ever, God forbid, in the future, a recession, we're probably looking at 80% or below. And if things get a little nicer, if we see prices trending up, we are probably in this latter half. And roughly this means if an ARV is at least $120,000 or below, that is roughly what the discount of a buyer wants to buy it for. They want at least 70% of the value of the property off so they can make a profit. Now, they want less of a discount for the higher price because there's more margin on this. This means if ARV is between $125,000 to $220,000, that is roughly what the percentage they want off of the ARV minus repairs, and roughly $220,000 to $300,000 when we're getting this range. And really, anything above 300 grand, if you got a really good buyer, you could probably get away with 85%. This is more of San Diego, San Francisco, California type numbers. And every wholesaling guru under the sun wants to say that everybody needs a 70% off the ARV of their $16 million Santa Monica mansion, and that just doesn't work. Think about it. If somebody had a $10 million mansion, would they sell it for $7 million? Most likely not. Would somebody who has a $100,000 house be willing to sell their deal for 70 grand? Most likely if it needs the repairs. Usually when the prices go up, you have more stingy clientele and they're more likely to want to list it on the market. So, play some Blue's Clues here. Which one of these matches a 234 ARV. Ding, 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 83%. So that is roughly what we are going to do here. We are going to multiply ARV, which is $234,000 minus $15,000 in repair. Then we are going to multiply it by 83%, or 0.83 on our calculators. And this is going to come up to an MAO of 181,000. And you might be like, whoa, Zach, what's MAO and what are you talking about? MAO, or max allowable offer, is the most that a buyer is willing to buy this deal for. They buy it for 181, they put the 15 grand in, so they're in it for 196, they put on the market for 234, and they make some slight profits here. Now, this is a guy making 20, 25 grand on the flip, nothing too insane, nothing too crazy. But if I use a software like xleads.com and find like the top buyers, they're okay with doing that on a very low repair cost deal that they can get in and out of. Now, not every buyer wants this. Some of your more greedy buyers are going to be, oh, I want to buy this for 150. I need to buy this for 160. You're going to find buyers that want to buy this thing for 185. There are different type of buyers for each type of situation. So yes, 181 is probably the average, I'll tell you, with the max allowable offer on this. Now, what is the actual offer price? What should we offer initially to the seller? Now, we don't focus on MAO, which is a max allowable offer. What we do here is I teach you guys how to do LAO, or least allowable offer. Now, least allowable offer is what our first offer should be. First offer is going to be what we call, quote, LAO, least allowable offer. Now, our first offer is going to be 70% of the MAO. That's right. So our first initial offer to the seller should be 70% of the max allowable offer. That means our first offer should be $126,000. That is right. That is what I'm going to be offering this seller. Now, most likely, the seller is going to say no. Oh no, that's terrible. Oh no, I want to cry. Guys, that's the point here. We offer 126, and if the seller takes that, you are set to make $55,000. That is right. A check for 55 grand signed by a lawyer to you. That is right. Like a literal check signed to you by a lawyer at a title company for 55 grand because you decided to offer $126,000 on a deal where a buyer can buy it for 181. Now, the point of this is most likely the seller's going to say no, but not every time. If you offer 126, they say no. Say, well, where are you at? Well, I'm at 160. Let's meet in the middle. Maybe lock it up for 140. You're still set to make 39 grand, 30 grand, 20 grand, 10 grand. But at least you're going to squeeze the most out of the deal. And so the point is, in under 60 seconds, you can make a quick, easy, simple calculation of what your offer should be. Now, if you want it even simpler, guys, I do have a software. It's called xLeads. It's got free unlimited skip tracing. It's got what we call an instant offer formula price, where it's got a wholesale value, which you never need xLeads, right? Just hang out with somebody that does. But really, you can just still for free use Zillow, use Redfin, find the ARV, go out here and use this simple handy dandy repair chart. And then from there, get your repair costs, do ARV minus repairs multiplied by any of these multipliers, get that as your MAO, and boom, you're ready to go, set off in the sunset. So what are you waiting for? Start pulling comps, start finding the repair costs quick with the chart, and start making offers right now to get rich wholesaling real estate. Guys, I've made millions of dollars wholesaling real estate, and it is your time to start making offers. Start going out here and doing deals and getting rich wholesaling real estate. Guys, if you got any value from this video, do me a favor, make sure you smash the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. This is Zach Ginn signing out. Have a blessed one.